So let's start talking about color schemes. This is going to be part 1 of your color scheme notes. It's a little bit long, so I decided to break this up into 2 days, 2 pieces. So start by labeling the top of your paper, color schemes. And then you could put in parentheses next to it, part 1. We're going to do part 1 on this half of the page, and then you will take a picture and submit it. For next class, you will take a picture of the back when you do part 2. So part 1 we'll keep on this side of the page, part 2 you'll do on the other side of the page. So it's important that you try to keep it all on one page with me. It makes it easier to submit. You'll also notice that I have color pencils ready to go here. They are the same set you were given by the school, but if you have other color pencils you want to use, just get those ready to go. So what we're going to start with first is what's called a monochromatic color scheme. So what I want you to do is start by drawing a big circle about this size, and then around it, monochromatic is spelled M-O-N-O, mono means one, and then chrome, C-H-R-O-M, chrome means color, and then attic, A-T-I-C. So monochromatic, you can think, means one color. So now what we're going to do is write the definition, and then we'll draw a little picture here that will color using this color scheme. So the definition off to the side for monochromatic is one, and underline that so you remember, one color mixed with black, black, white, and / or gray. And underline those 3, mixed with black, white, and or gray. And then let's write an example below that. Example. Green, dark green, and light green. So green mixed with black and green mixed with white. A common mistake students make, and the reason why I chose this color scheme, is because some students will think that yellow-green will count for this this color scheme with normal green. But that's not the case, because remember, yellow-green has more yellow in it. And this says you only mix it with black, white, and or gray. So what you need to do now is grab a green, regular green, grab your black colored pencil, and then grab your white colored pencil. We don't have gray, but we can layer these to make gray, okay? Before we use them, inside our little circle, we're gonna do like a very simple landscape. So to do that, I'm gonna start with a zigzag line that's kind of towards the bottom. Then I'll do another one just behind that one. So if you can picture, these are like mountains. And then one more behind that. Now what we're gonna do is start with our darkest green up here in the front. So I'm gonna start by very lightly coloring with green. We wanna start light whenever we wanna mix colored pencils. If we start dark, they tend to not want to mix. So that's why you start light. And I'm filling in this space with my regular green, not pushing very hard. Now I'm grabbing my black, and again, not pushing super hard, lightly going over that. So I get a nice even layer of black on top of the green. And then one last layer in there with the green. I'm gonna push a little bit harder for a final layer. So this would be a shade of green because it's green mixed with black. Perfect. Now we're gonna do the same thing here, but let's just use regular green first, so not pushing very hard again. Remember, you can always pause the video if I'm coloring too fast for you. And then a very light layer of black, so I'm really not pushing hard at all. This one I want to be the tone, so we're gonna mix it with black and white. And then I'm grabbing my white, and you won't really see this at first, but we're doing just a layer of white in this section. And then last, finishing it off with one more layer of green. This should look different than your front round of green. If it doesn't look different, what you can do is make that front round of green a little bit darker. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna grab my black on this front layer and just do one more layer of that to make it a little bit different than my middle layer of green that's just behind it, so it can stand out. Perfect. So if you're ready to move on, keep watching the video. If you need to pause it right now to catch up to this point, please do. Now what we're gonna do in this section is just regular green. So I'm just pushing hard with green, not mixing it with either. In landscapes, our colors always get lighter and duller as they go in the distance. So that's kind of what we're mocking here a little bit. Not a perfect example, but you get the idea. And now in the sky, what we're going to do is start with a very, very light layer of green. And then for this one, we are actually just gonna push hard with white, and that's gonna be it. So there is a monochromatic color scheme. We have a dark green, kind of a tone of green, so gray green, and then regular green, and then a tint of green, white mixed with green. So you can go ahead and put your color pencils back for now. We are going to come back to using them in just 1 second. We're gonna move on to our next color scheme, which is Triadic. So let's go ahead and draw a line below that. And for this one, we are gonna draw a couple of characters, but before we do that, let's go ahead and put the definition. We're gonna put the definition on this side. Triadic color schemes are 3 colors, evenly spaced. Three colors evenly spaced, that's the important part, around the color wheel. I also want you to put a big box around the number 3, because 3 is the key here. So when we're looking at a color wheel, we can see that with a triadic color scheme, if they're evenly spaced, if I chose the color yellow first, I'd skip 3, 1, 2, 3, blue, skip 3, red. Red, yellow, and blue are a triadic color scheme. I could do the same thing if I chose yellow, green, skip 3, blue, violet, skip 3, red, orange. That's why the number 3 is so significant, because you choose 3 colors and you skip 3 colors to figure out which colors are in this color scheme. So let's write a couple of examples. So one, it could be orange, green, and purple. And what you notice about this is that they are also our secondary colors. So the secondary colors are a triadic color scheme. Another one, let's put or, R-O for red, orange, Y-G for yellow, green, or B-P, and B-P for blue, purple. So there's 2 examples. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna draw 3 faces of famous Pokemon who pretty much fall into this color scheme. We are going to tweak the color of one of them to fit it. So let's start with kind of an upside down U shape in the upper right of this section. And then to draw the face, you're doing like a big open heart shape. So you can see, boom, all the way around to there. Okay. And then for the mouth of this one, you're gonna do like a little curl up, then down, and it comes to a point, and then back up. And then 2 nostrils are just above it. And then we need 2 big rainbow lines or upside down U's. And then just close them off at the bottom. And then inside those, on the left side, we're gonna just draw part of the eye. Inside the right one, draw part of the eye on the right side. And then you're gonna draw the highlight on the left eye. It's in the right side of the left eye. And then on the right side, it's also on the right side of the right eye, just like that. And then you can do little kind of eyebrow marks. So there's Squirtle. Squirtle's gonna fall into our purple category. So he's normally like a bluish color, but the other 2 fall into this category. So we're gonna make him purple. And then we have, the next one is gonna start similar. We're gonna start with a big upside down U. And then this time, more of a big open bowl shape to close it off. And then this one has a big smile usually. So we're gonna just do a big smile and then his teeth. Remember, if I ever go too fast, you can pause the video to catch up. And then his eyes are pretty much the same as Squirtle's. This is Charmander we're drawing. So go ahead and start with those similar shapes for the eyes that we started with Squirtle. Draw the lines on the inside. Okay, there's Charmander, and he's orange, so he's gonna be in this category. And then the last one, green, is going to be Bulbasaur. So Bulbasaur has more of a big, kind of almost sideways egg shape head. And we've got his pointy ears like a cat almost. His eyes are a little different. They're kind of like triangles more like. So we're gonna start with a triangle like in that shape. And then do one that mirrors it for the other side. And then the inside of his eyes, we'll just draw a line like this on the left side, and then there for the right. And then we have the highlight is just inside that shape. Then we have his little eyebrow marks. His mouth is pretty much the same as Squirtle's, just wider. We've got the little nostrils, and then he has these little markings here. So not perfect illustrations, but they're just to help you remember triadic color scheme. So inside this, in between them or off to the side, I want you to write triadic. Okay. Now, we are going with the color scheme orange, green, and purple. So go ahead and grab a green, grab an orange, and grab a purple from your color pencil set. Try to make sure it is regular green, not blue green, not yellow green. Same thing with the other 2. You need the true colors for this to work. So starting with our top one, which is Squirtle, we are going to make him purple to fall into this category, but we don't have to push very hard because that's the thing with a triadic color scheme. You could also use tints and shades kind of mixed in. So we're going to lightly color him purple. I tried to look for a trio of cartoon characters that fell under a triadic color scheme, and all of them were very close, just like these guys, where one was off. So I decided to go with Pokemon because I do love Pokemon. I think they're really fun. Okay, and then I'm just gonna push harder for his eyes. And that one's done. You could set aside your purple. Now I'm going to grab the orange for Charmander. He's the one on the left here. And very darkly, actually, color him in. Remember, if you need to catch up, just pause, press play when you're ready. Now I'm just gonna lightly fill in his mouth and lightly fill in his eyes. Okay, and with green, we'll do Bulbasaur. Let's start light with him, so not pushing very hard. And Bulbasaur is actually normally kind of a bluish green, so we're turning him into normal green for this. And he actually has red eyes normally. So we are taking some artistic liberties, but this will help you remember triadic, groups of 3. Okay, and then let's go ahead and push harder inside his spots. And push harder in his eyes. Like I said, they're normally red, but that's okay for us. All right, there's our triadic color scheme. So you can go ahead and put your color pencils back once again. And we'll be ready to move on to our last one for this assignment today. And then you'll take a picture and submit it before you're done today. Now, let's go ahead and draw another line. This last one is called a complementary color scheme. So let's start with the definitions again. We're gonna draw them on the right side this time. So we gotta write on this right side, the colors directly across from each other on the color wheel. Underline directly across. Those are the key words for this one. So let me show you the color wheel again and show you the examples. So orange and blue are a complementary color scheme. And we could even use this side of this color wheel. Does it for me if you look at this thick line. We have blue and red, blue, green, and red, orange are complementary colors. We have blue, violet, and yellow, orange. Violet or purple and yellow. Red, violet, or red, purple, and yellow, green. And red and green. So all those directly across. So let's write just a few examples. So put examples. Red and green, recognized as Christmas colors. They are complementary colors. Put or, blue and orange. And last one, let's put or, yellow and purple. But there are 3 more pairs with the secondary colors all have complements as well. So on this side, we are going to draw the Firefox logo, is actually a complementary color logo. So start by lightly drawing a circle again, just like we did with our monochromatic color scheme. But this time we have to add the fox to it before we make it dark. So if we start on the left side here, we have a little ear just outside the circle. And then the top of his head goes into the circle, and then the other ear. swoops down to the cheek, and his nose sticks out from the cheek. We can't really see his face. He's facing the circle. So that from this cheek, this kind of swoops in to the left like that. If we go back to the left ear, we can do a little bit of zigzag. I'm kind of going along the circle though, making the fluffy fox. And then it becomes his tail once we get kind of to the top right. And then we can go down the other side, or we could switch, and from the cheek, his arm is holding on, just like that. And then just make these kind of jagged edges for his body and tail. We can darken the top of the circle to become the rest of the logo and make it easier to see. And there you go, you have a little Firefox logo. And this color, or these colors, are blue and orange for this logo. So we're gonna use blue and orange to color this. So go ahead and grab your orange color pencil and your blue color pencil and start filling the circle in neatly, blue, and then the fox will be orange. And before I forget, make sure you write complementary above the circle. So it's COMPLEMENTARY, complementary. That is this last color scheme for today. And for the next class, you'll do 3 more color schemes just on the back of this paper. But just don't forget, after you finish coloring the fox, you will need to take a picture and submit it. I am grading this as 2 separate assignments to keep you on track. So make sure you take a picture and submit this one. Okay, that is all you needed to do today. So go ahead and take a picture with your Chromebook. Directions of how and where to submit are just below this video.